In 1937, Walter Hitzler discovered what was believed to be the spaceship of the god Amset in the dungeons of Egypt. Now we know from the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, he claims in there that he had a spaceship that he buried under pyramids, a plateau of pyramids in Egypt. He credited himself to building the Giza Plateau, and also the fact that he has a spaceship buried under a sphinx in one of the Egyptian pyramid plateaus. And I advise you to listen to the playlist of the Emerald Tablets, because there's a lot of information about their philosophy, about their very advanced technology. And he says that he believed that it was a matter of time before the great divine spirit put an end to them, because they were abusing God's commandments to the detriment of humans. They had interstellar travel, from what he said, and they also had interdimensional travel. Now, Walter Hitzler led a clandestine German archaeological expedition to Egypt in 1937. His records reveal a belief that ancient peoples were in contact with highly advanced civilizations and deities whose technological advancements remain concealed from contemporary society. The hypothesis is dismissed by mainstream scientists, yet each year proponents of alternative theories uncover more evidence suggesting that paleo contact happened thousands of years ago, not just in Egypt, but also in India, Mesopotamia, China, South Africa, Africa, Australia, indicating that Earth had been visited multiple times. Upon discovering another entrance to the subterranean complex, Walter, driven by the desire to find evidence to support his theories, plunged into it. He was accompanied by 3 colleagues. However, they reported that Walter moved through the passageways and chambers so swiftly that they soon lost track of him. Despite the excellent acoustics, their calls went unanswered. Baffled, his companions exited the labyrinth and instructed the remaining members of the expedition to establish a camp near this entrance, hoping that the expedition leader would emerge safely. And that's precisely what transpired. Nearly 18 hours later, Hitzler emerged in the aisle, looking utterly exhausted. The entries in his diary were astonishing in their detail. Even those closest to him, his most loyal friends and colleagues, believed Walter had gone mad. His entries described a colossal spaceship belonging to the ancient god Amset. He claimed that within the dungeon lay a portal to another reality which he had entered. The next day, Walter Hitzler, having regained his composure, described the events in the dungeon more clearly. As he entered the chamber, resonant music that seemed to summon him filled the air. The chimes were so enthralling that he was drawn towards the sound involuntarily, as if by an invisible force. Abruptly, 2 priests appeared beside him. Their attire suggested that he had been transported to another time, perhaps to the era of pharaohs. The priests presented him with an odd artifact resembling a golden lattice, at the center of which was a golden sphere. Each cell contained a glass engraved with the name of a deity from the Egyptian pantheon. He touched the glass named for the god Amset and was instantly transported to a vast hall. And there Walter observed a colossal device, approximately 180 meters in length and 35 meters in width, adorned with various panels, levers, buttons, and screens. Hitzler attempted to interact with one of the panels, but nothing occurred. He tried the same with another panel to no avail. It was only on the 3rd try that the entire structure began to tremble as though struck by an earthquake. The potent vibration originated from the vessel itself. The front of the craft featured hatches adorned with gold plates, inscribed with symbols unknown to Walter. Without recognition, he reached out and touched the first symbol he saw. The plates opened, revealing a layer of substance that resembled thick black glass. Through this, the control devices of the Colossus were visible. A button glowed red, and a beam moved side to side, creating a circular pattern on the glass. The researcher placed his palm on the red circle, and the beam halted. The next minute, the German experienced severe pain in his arm, as if it had been scalded by steam. In the following moment, two priests grasped his arm and hurriedly escorted him to the golden grating with the ball, pressing his uninjured hand against the symbol. And after a while, the man regained consciousness in one of the dungeon's halls. His arm was no longer in pain, but it bore several scars resembling deep burns. This was Walter's undeniable evidence that everything had indeed occurred. Once he had recovered, he went out to his comrades and collapsed from exhaustion. The following day, the researchers attempted to re-enter the complex. However, this time there was no music, and the enigmatic portal was nowhere to be found. His colleagues believed Walter had lost his sanity, and despite the evidence of burn marks, they dismissed his account. Subsequently, Hitzler resolved to spend the entire day in the dungeon to uncover the truth. He theorized that the technology might activate eventually. After he remained below for the agreed duration, he failed to resurface, and all attempts to locate him proved futile. From the 1937 expedition, only his diary made it back to Germany, serving as the sole record of the enigmatic incident. Regarding Walter, the prevailing belief is that he entered that other realm a second time, with his fate thereafter remaining unknown. The ancient Greek mathematician and the slumbering deities. An ancient parchment preserved in the Swiss monastery of St. Gall describes a tunnel and a glass pyramid. This document is believed to have been authored by the ancient mathematician Thales, who traveled to Egypt to study the pyramids. There he encountered a vast scarlet glass pyramid in three rows of glass cases containing beautifully adorned individuals in silver and gold garments. The priest who showed Thales' chamber initially withheld information about, but eventually revealed it to be the temple of the sleeping gods. Tragically, the priest was murdered by unknown attackers the day following the revelation, and Thales, the ancient Greek, narrowly avoided his demise with assistance from an admirer, a prominent military leader of Hellenistic Egypt. Despite such influential support, Thales was compelled to flee Egypt aboard the first northbound vessel. In his writings, Thales accuses the clandestine priests of the god Amset of orchestrating his expulsion, claiming their influence extends over the entire Greek governance of Egypt. The Egyptian parchment attributed to Thales was housed in the library of St. Gall Monastery until 1711, after which its whereabouts became unknown. Their emergence in 1806 at the French Academy of Sciences, a special team of scientists commissioned by Napoleon to seek out ancient Egyptian artifacts, studied it. By 1876, the parchment had made its way to the Vatican Library. Known for safeguarding secrets, the Catholic Church has since kept the parchment from public view. Additionally, Ezing recalled an Arabic manuscript detailing a Baghdad vizier's subterranean treasure hunt, during which he encountered King Zohak, a figure with shoulder-borne snakes that could lethally strike his foes from afar. The search for the starship by the pragmatic Germans. During a covert Nazi expedition in Egypt, which spanned over 3 years until the end of 1942, Essing encountered a German scientist from the historical division of the Reich Security Main Office's scientific department, SS Hauptsturmführer Konrad von Wallenstein. And starting in 1934, his team sought the starship of the deity Amset. Records of this colossal edifice are found in various Arab sources, and Yusuf al-Ashraf, a nobleman and envoy to the Egyptian court, reportedly visited this ship in the 14th century, penning a comprehensive report for Tamerlane's campaign office. Stripping away the ornate language, the report detailed a tunnel carved into the mountains and a peak of rock crystal shimmering in every hue, akin to the treasury of the Great Mogul. This peak matched the tallest mountains, and its base was vast enough to accommodate the grazing of 10,000 horses. Yusuf al-Ashraf described seeing warriors with silver bodies and faces with a crystal pyramid, pathways trodden by priests, and three-dimensional depictions of an enigmatic civilization. It was believed that any priest of Amset could annihilate the entire city or a substantial army single-handedly. These priests had purportedly resided there through 11 cycles of 999 years, but were soon to depart for the stars. Yusuf al-Ashraf attempted to enlist them as allies for Tamerlane, but the celestial beings declined the offer. The god Amset's starship was said to be perched on a mountain plateau, accessible solely through a specifically excavated tunnel. Yusuf al-Ashraf also recounted crystal vessels capable of vaulting over mountains and communicative shells that functioned over a 15-day march distance. The report was removed from the Soviet Union. The Germans acquired the report of a medieval nobleman along with other Tamerlane archives, which were covertly transferred from the USSR to Germany in 1934 and deemed documents of special significance. The German scientific department surmised that such a vessel was not solitary on land and meticulously examined and catalogued all evidence pertaining to its issue. In Egypt, multiple sites exhibited significant geological anomalies deemed suitable for the dwelling of the star god Amset. The colossal sculpture of Amset, described in manuscripts as being crafted entirely of gold, was believed to reside in the principal chamber of Amset's clandestine temple, a location known solely to the high priest. It was there he communicated directly with the stars, and upon his return, he delivered the god's irrefutable and immediately forcible verdict to the council of priests. The large stone boxes in the main hall, their purpose undisclosed, remained enigmatic, as the manuscripts dedicated to Amset made no mention of them. These stone boxes were adorned with exceptionally clear and high-quality illustrations. Following meticulous engraving, artists of unknown identity filled the etchings with gold and silver hues. Predominantly, the images depicted individuals in unusual attire engaged in enigmatic activities, alongside depictions of stars, serpents, and various architectural forms. Yet one grand artistic work caused even Essing, no stranger to wonders, to stand transfixed. This is on Solask. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.